From the 1011 Now streaming studio, this is 1011's Morning Pulse.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.
Good morning, I'm Jackson Wilford with your Morning Pulse for Friday, August 30th, 2024. Prisons and jail time have dominated headlines this week, and keeping with that trend, we've looked into another story following this theme as thousands of people in Nebraska are behind bars facing a charge related to drugs, some of them for having no more than an empty baggie with drug residue. Those involved in the justice system here in Lancaster County say charges like that can be a gateway to treatment for those facing addiction. A records request put in during a 1011 investigation shows the Lancaster County attorney charged 631 people with a felony for possession of drug residue last year, up from 544 in 2022. Lancaster County's public defender says she sees the impact in her office, having to back out of more and more cases due to overloaded defenders, costing the county thousands of dollars in cases they argue sometimes shouldn't be filed. There's plenty more on this piece that we can't touch on all in one go, but you can read and watch it on our website, 1011now.com. And it's also Nebraska Drug Overdose Awareness Week. Governor Jim Pillen declared it earlier this month, and trading candles for cell phone lights were dozens, gathered on Centerpoint's campus, sharing stories and taking a moment to remember loved ones who died from overdosing. Beyond the stories, it was an evening of breaking stigmas and spreading awareness over substance abuse, with speakers highlighting resources you can get right here in Lincoln. Now, switching gears now to some ag headlines, the governor announced that he is calling, quote, a full-blown attack on lab-grown meats and fake meats here in the state. He signed an executive order on the issue and says he won't stop there. Along with that order, he announced that he'll be directing the Nebraska Department of Agriculture to begin drafting rules to make sure these kinds of meats are specifically labeled and not sold next to real meats. As he puts it, he wants to make sure Nebraskans don't get duped at the grocery store, slamming the industry. Governor Pillen hinted at following in other states' footsteps like Iowa and Florida to draft a bill next session to outright ban the sale of lab-grown meats here in the state. And it's been a little over 2 months since a Lincoln mother was last seen or heard from, and Lincoln police are putting her case back out there, hoping someone somewhere may know something. 30-year-old Jerica Hamry went missing on June 25th, and investigators are calling the circumstances surrounding this suspicious. She was last seen at her home near 35th and Huntington, and her parents told us last month that she was assaulted just days before her disappearance, but that she didn't press charges. LPD is urging anyone who may have a lead or tip to call Crime Stoppers at 475-3600 or submit a tip online. And we're just a little over 24 hours away from Nebraska's favorite team taking the field for another season expected to be full of new additions. From a new starting quarterback to sideline changes and even a different check-in system, this year's Husker season is garnering plenty of hype from fans and players alike. Yesterday, head coach Matt Rule touched on one of those changes, the move to the west sideline, something that has been in talks for a while now. Rule says that it all boils down to communication, adding that the fans and the band, among other factors, have an impact to affect the game. You'll see these new changes in effect tomorrow as the Huskers take on UTEP at Memorial Stadium. Kickoff is at 2:30. And on that note, let's get a look at that combo tailgate Labor Day forecast.
You've been listening to 1011's Morning Pulse. Watch, listen, stream on the 1011 Now app, on YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Sponsored by Murray Roofing.